This is the Call Me Crazy Show. I'm back once again. Episode I have no clue. 169, 68. Give or take. I don't even, we filmed so many Call Me Crazy episodes I don't even remember. Marty don't remember. First things first, I want to thank T-Triple-C and Marty for the end of television for making the Call Me Crazy Show possible. Without them, there'll be no Call Me Crazy. So, okay, first things first, I want to talk about the news in Iraq again. As I know, we all know I talked about it last episode, and I will be talking about it until the war is over. And some people are saying, I read this in an article, that, I don't know, I don't think it's true, but if it is, oh man. Some people are speculating, some journalists are speculating that the U.S. presence in Iraq will be at least 40 to 50 years. Let that sink in. Can you imagine if we're over there in Iraq for 40 or 50 years from now? Trying to deal with all that bullshit from here until then? That gets horrendous. I don't want to even think about that. And you know what? If I'm a U.S. citizen thinking about that long term, and if that's a possibility, and if I'm thinking like that, and I'm sure the viewers are thinking like that, then the policymakers up in Washington, D.C. surely know about it. So they're probably thinking, my God, you know, we'll probably be dead and they'll still be over there. All the politicians up in Washington, including George W. Bush, they know the long term. When they leave office, the war will still be going on, and the next president's going to have to deal with the mess. If we all pull out next year or the following year after that, that'd be great. But if it gets to be a continuous momentum of pro-war feelings going on in Washington towards the war, then I get the feeling that we'll be there 40, 50 years. You know, look at Vietnam, we were there for so many years. Look at North Korea, we were there for so many years. And it wasn't 4 years that we were there. We were longer there for more than 4 years. And so, if that's the case, if we're doing 3,500 deaths in military casualties in 4 years, imagine how many people will die. Not just the U.S. soldiers, but the Iraqi people in a 40-year time span. So we'll do 40 times 3. You know, we're looking at maybe 125,000 people killed, including U.S. citizens, if we're there for 40 years. I'm going to read a headline. You know, and here's the thing too that I keep forgetting. You know, when 9/11 happened. Suicide bombers, that's when the first time that suicide bombers, Muslim extremists, hit U.S. soil. We know that. We all know that. Okay, from there, we jump to 2007. No more 9/11, that's all in the past now. The Iraqi war now. Right, and the thing is, suicide bombers are still around. They'll never run out of steam. You know, now in Israel, in Palestine, they even have female suicide bombers now. It's not just Iraq that has suicide bombers. There's Afghanistan, the Middle East, Israel, between the PLO and Fatah and Hamas associations. So it's all over the world. They'll never stop. For me, if you want to die for your cause, whatever it is, don't shove it down my throat, and don't do it against U.S. citizens, and don't do it on U.S. soil. Otherwise, go do that shit somewhere else. You know, we all know there's so much poverty and war in Africa, no one seems to care. You know, there's a huge genocide going on in Sudan, and George Clooney is the only person who seems to care about it. But I saw a picture of a little girl in the paper from she was one of the refugees missing an arm. A 7-year-old girl. It doesn't even matter if she was black or white. She was missing an arm Because what happened, a terrorist, one of the militants went in the village and hacked everyone's arm off to make an example out of everybody. So imagine that, folks, you know. You're sitting down, you're 8 years old, you're a little girl, you're sitting down and you're eating with your Arabic family at the table, dude. You got the hut in your hut, and all of a sudden you hear a far off scream off in the distance, and then you hear like the sound like a Jeep coming up, and the gravel noise is like crunching and crunching, and then all of a sudden you hear like two more screams, and then everybody stands up off the table, puts the chairs off, and they're like running around. And before you know it, someone kicked down the door, and there are 4 or 5 teenage kids yielding machetes and AK-47s. And you know, they take all the men outside and shoot them and kill them. And then they go get the women, rape the little girls also. And then shoot the mother, kill the mother, then save the girl. And hack off the arm of the little girl. And this is all within the time span of 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So that's what happens all over the world in those little rebel villages, including Iraq. You know, suicide bombing. Iraqi suicide bombers are now blowing themselves up to kill other Iraqis. If that's not a civil war, just say it. Say it. It's a civil war. We're in the middle of a civil war. But no one ever says that. It's not a civil war. It's just the Shiites versus the Muslims. But yeah, it's in the same country. That's a civil war. You know, it's like that Axl Rose song. Nobody cared about Civil War back in 1990 when Civil War, that song, remember, came out by Guns N' Roses. No one cared. They were like, shut the fuck up. Shut the hell up, Axl Rose. You ain't no war activist. You think you are, but you don't know nothing about Civil War. Now that song's appropriate, and it's what, 17 years later after the fact. And here's the thing, another thing I learned too, that the soldiers in Baghdad, it's so bad up there. You know what some of the soldiers are doing, and God bless them. They're naming the bombed out streets by heavy metal names, heavy metal band names. So, and this is true, this is all real, folks. There's a street in Baghdad called Skid Row, swear to God, and there's another street called Poison, and there's another street called White Snake. And this is the only way that all the soldiers in that brigade in that certain area of Baghdad can tell which street is which street, because they're all so bombed out. All the buildings look the same because they're all torn down and beat up. So they're like, oh yeah, they're going to go down Skid Row, Poison. And that's the way they do it up there. You know, and God bless rock and roll, and God bless all those U.S. soldiers doing that, using band names for I gotta go, I'm out of time, And God bless all those U.S. soldiers who named the streets after a heavy metal rock and roll band. I know it's a nightmarish environment out there, but it's cool to know that they still have that U.S. spirit, man, rock and roll, heavy metal, hair metal, whatever you want to call it. And the next news I want to talk about is something close to the heart. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's a story that happened in Ohio, true story. Maybe more than 9 days ago, there was a woman, pregnant woman by the age of 9 months. She disappeared, and the grandmother, the mother of that woman found the granddaughter, the grandbaby in the living room, and the 2-year-old baby was saying that mommy is hurt, and mommy broke the table, and mommy something. So all we know is that the woman got abducted or something. That's all we knew back then. But yeah, she was 9 months pregnant, and she disappeared off the face of the earth. And 2 days ago, they found her body. After a week-long search, they found her body, and the fetus was dead too. And guess what, folks? And you know who killed her? You know who killed her? It was the husband, and the husband is a cop. Killed his own mother of his baby. Killed the wife and killed his own baby. You know what, Scott Peterson, if you're out there reading this somewhere, yeah right, Scott Peterson, remember him? He's that dumb fuck who murdered Lacey up in San Francisco, dumped her body in the bay. But anyway, the killer was a black, what did I say black? Yeah, I guess a black cop, and yeah, they have him in custody, and then the whole town is all screwed up about that. Because if when you're missing, that's kind of scary for the loved one. But if you're missing and you're pregnant, 9 months pregnant, and you're a couple of days from giving birth, and you're not nowhere to be found, that's pretty horrible. So if we people out there think that's a problem, try to be the parent of the murdered 24-year-old girl who had a future ahead of her. Enough of that. Okay, I'm reading one thing right here. I'm just going off on one of the major headlines. The Supreme Court says that bumper stickers and shirts saying "Bong hits for Jesus" is not constitutional. So that means you can't say that, if I'm correct. But enough of that. I'll find out more about that. Okay, one more thing I wanted to talk about is what else did I want to talk? Oh yeah, the presidential race. How can I forget? Last Friday we were on the television and we were talking about Barack Obama, and we were saying, some people were saying don't vote for Obama because her rhyme was Osama, and and that's a good enough reason for me. Fuck it, I want to say it. I'm a fucking Democrat. I've been a Democrat since I graduated from high school, and I don't give a fuck if Republicans don't like me. You're a Republican. You're a Republican. You're organized. I'm a Democrat, and I'm organized. God damn it. But anyways, on the subject of presidential race, John McCain and Rudolph Giuliani, remember him? Rudy Giuliani, he was the mayor of New York during 9/11. He's running for president. So I don't know, folks. I mean, if you're the mayor of New York City, I guess maybe you can learn how to run the country. I mean, I guess, I don't know, vote for me and I can run the country. It's like that movie Head of State. You ever see that movie Head of State with Chris Rock and Bernie Mac, I think, where Chris Rock, he actually wins the presidency, and he makes the White House all hip hop out, and instead of classical music through the hallways, it's all hip hop, and I was like, yeah, if I was president of the U.S. and I live in the White House, I'd be like, yeah, let's have plasma TVs in every room, constantly 24 hours playing Scarface. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about the tourists coming in the line. Oh, 2012, the new White House, President Daniel, and Scarface and every plasma TV in the White House. Yeah, man, that'd be great. Yeah, and then I'll meet like the prime ministers of all the other countries. I'll meet the president of Bolivia and president of France and the prime minister, and I'll be like, hey, have you guys seen this movie? And I'll show them Scarface. That's my negotiation, bitches. That's how I negotiate. I show everybody Scarface at the diplomat table. You know how they have the peace talks? I was like, fuck the peace talk. If I were president, I'll be showing Scarface here. If you don't like it, get the fuck out. I'll be like, everybody hates the U.S. right now, but everybody loves Levi jeans and CDs and DVDs. The whole world loves those things, but yet they hate America. Yeah, they love Pirates of the Caribbean and Spider-Man, biggest movie worldwide. They like all that. They go pay money, whatever it is that they pay, pounds, francs, pesos, whatever it is, dollar. They pay movies. They say, oh, I hate the U.S. I live here in Pakistan. I hate the U.S. Okay, come on, honey. Let's go check out Spider-Man 3. What the fuck? They're Bollywood. Don't tell me that shit don't exist. Spider-Man 3 theaters are in India and Pakistan and Middle East and Israel and Latin America. They're showing that shit everywhere now. I bet there's even a movie theater by the ruins somewhere. You know, there's a Walmart by the Aztec ruin in Mexico, so why not movie theater? Yeah, Klein. Why not build a movie theater right next to the pyramids in Egypt? You know, Century Theater, Harkin Theater, or God forbid, Magic Theaters. Magic Theaters. If you don't know, then you don't know. But see, that's the point. Bollywood is all big, but they're all anti-American. You know, they like porn too. You know, and it's not them, it's everybody. I don't give a rat's ass if you're brown, white, black, yellow. I don't give a. Call me crazy. Has no affiliation with any racist group whatsoever. You know, it's like, if you will, it's like the words of a great man. They call me crazy, and I don't like that. You know, quote unquote Dave Chappelle. But another thing too I want to talk about is screw it. I want to talk about everything under the sun right now. It's been fucking hot. A couple days ago it was 104. Praise the Lord and knock on wood that we live in a time where we have AC. AC. But then again, folks, a lot of people in Iraq don't have AC, and it gets to be 120. So be grateful, folks, that you guys have AC, people who have AC. And the people who have swamp coolers, be grateful too, because some people all over the world, especially third world countries, they don't even have a fan. They don't even have a blow fan, thing like that. They don't even have nothing. They have like flies in their eyes and stuff. Big old belly. And here we are all concerned with Paris Hilton going to jail. Fuck Paris Hilton. And what else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, there's a guy I know. He's a published author and poet. His name is J. Marshall Hart. J. Marshall Hart. He's more of an acquaintance, but he has some published work that came out this year. And hopefully, with permission, next episode I'll be doing some poetry reciting off his new book called Giraffe Fight. Until then, I cannot say any more, and I cannot say how much it is, but it is published. Okay. Oh, and last night I saw Transformers movie preview, an extended one. Michael Bay and Steven Spielberg, whatever they have with their sleeve, they pulled it out, because that trick they pulled out, from what I thought, it looks like, it's like Independence Day meets Fast and the Furious meets Men in Black. It just looks so. And it looks like a Michael Bay film. You all know he's responsible for Armageddon and The Island. And Steven Spielberg, you know, he's famous for E.T., Indiana Jones. But yeah, it looks like a surprising hit. You know it's going to be a blockbuster. Transformers, come on. That shit's been around since I was a kid. I remember the Optimus Prime figure would be like $18 back then. And that was a lot. And that was the good, nice size one. Not the little one. Remember the little one? And see, now that I'm on the subject of Transformers, does that mean there's going to be a GoBots live action movie? GoBots. Mighty Heroes. GoBots. See, that it don't have the same twang as Transformers. I still haven't seen Spider-Man 3, folks. I know I'm lame, but I've been so damn busy. But yeah, some people tell me Spider-Man 3 is not what it's cracked out to be. Then some people say it's the best thing they've ever seen. I'll just wait till I see it on my, oh no, I'll wait till it comes out on DVD in September. Not. What else? Did I mention that I don't like George W. Bush? Okay. And did I mention I don't like Dick Cheney and Karl Rove? Did I mention that their soul is cold and dark as midnight in Alaska? They have no soul. They're so black. You know, God, I hate them all. But that doesn't mean I'm a fucking militant, folks. Hell no. I ain't no Charlton Heston. He can be the leader of NRA if he wants. I'm the leader of the Call Me Crazy Army. And what else? I'm at Entourage. For all you folks out there, I'm just tapping everything today, folks. We're avid fans of Entourage. That shit rocks. Love those guys. Ari Gold, one of the best characters cable TV has ever put out. Possibly the best character. You know, I'm not big on those other shows, The Shield, Nip and Tuck. You know, I'm not into that. Is it because I've seen Grey's Anatomy once too many times? Yes. But I was forced to watch Grey's Anatomy. I was forced and held hostage to watch Grey's Anatomy, and hopefully that will never happen again. But I will watch Will and Grace. That's a lot better. That's a half hour shorter. Alrighty folks, I'm rambling. It's hot. I'm delirious. I need some more water. I was thinking about doing, this is a brainstorm. I was thinking about doing a ripoff. It's time to do Cave movie pretty soon. So I'm thinking about doing a ripoff of 28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, and then I wanted to do it 28 seconds later, and basically it's gonna be me walking around like a zombie for 28 seconds, and that's the end of the movie. We'll see if that comes true. I want to give a big shout out again to Marty, who we ran into, not this Marty, not from the other television Marty, but Marty from the Loft. We all met Angus Scrim, Phantasm, tall man, villain. Best part of the movie, we got to meet him. And he's 90 years old, folks. And we took a picture with him and got his autograph. It was great talking to him, great seeing Phantasm. And I want to give a big shout out to Marty, who was online waiting to meet him, and this guy named Marty, he's like, hey, I know you guys are from TV, man, huh? You guys are from TV. And you know, me and Marty were so used to the quasi-celebrityness that I actually enjoy it. But no, Marty was a nice guy, and he had a couple friends with them, and we had a group discussion on what year Phantasm came out, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it was great getting along with them. So what's up, Marty? Cool dude, cool car you had that night. And I'm out, folks. I had nothing else to say. I'm just glad to be here. This is June 25th. Is it June 25th? June 25th? June 25th today, 2007. I think it's more than 103 degrees right now. I'm in an undisclosed location. If I told you guys where I was at, you guys wouldn't believe it. I'm actually filming in a studio in Los Angeles. I'm not joking, folks. And I'm joking. No, I'm at an undisclosed location here in Tucson, 20 miles southeast of Tucson. And the undisclosed location is in a big 2-story house by Rincon Valley. You want me to give you the address too? My address is 5555 East North 5555742 Avenue. No, I'm just kidding. I don't live out by Vail. I don't live out by Vail. Yes, that's where I live, by Vail. I'm out. Okay, I'm out of here, folks. Have a good weekend. Before I leave, I want to say we saw Red Dawn a couple nights ago on the big screen at the Loft Friday night. And for you people not old enough to remember Red Dawn was a movie that came out during the Cold War, 1984 to be exact. And it was about Russian communists and Cuban communists taking over the U.S. Kind of silly, but kind of cool. Basically, it's the sequel to The Outsider. You just needed Amelia Estevez and Rob Lowe. Alright, I'm out of here. I'm tired. I got stuff to do. And what else can I talk about? And that's it, folks. I'm out.